All right, here we are. Day 3, keeping to my commitment to talk about the superhighway of success and how you can get on it, how you can keep it up, and how it has nothing to do with what you own, which may or may not own you, and it has nothing to do with what you get or have. Success, in my definition, is an internal state that allows you to be at peace and contentment and grow to any level you wish, which includes any material or physical level that you wish, but also enables you to withstand changes in your materialism, changes in the world, changes in your emotional state, because you have a core of calm, which is divinely successful. So that's the superhighway. It's a connection, a mind-body connection that'll keep you successful once you understand what it is that makes you successful. So today's talk, day 3, I'm talking about how your mind plays games with you, how your mind actually leads you to believe that success is something that eludes you or that other people have or have access to that is just not true. But in your mind, your perceptions, your limiting beliefs will tell you that that is true and that you can't have certain things. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who grew up with a very modest background, that that was one of the biggest lies that I learned. Now, mind you, I did not say that people told me. It's pervasive, it's everywhere. So I can't blame my parents, my religion, my teachers, where I grew up, older people, the media. All of those things may be factors, but it was my perception and my assimilation into my experience that created these perceptions and created these beliefs, okay? And it was me as an adult that kept them going, not through any fault, but just because I simply didn't understand the laws of success, the laws of transformation, and the laws of nature. So these are the things that I'm aiming to teach and to talk about with you today. Also, I will, as a reminder, put a link into my Zoom room this coming Friday, July, I think that would be the 16th, correct? Yes. 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and 4 p.m. Pacific time, and 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm opening up my Zoom room for anybody that wants to join me and to ask me questions about these topics. I love to talk about it. I love to either answer questions, ask you questions, do mock coaching, have a group dialogue. I'm open to whoever and whatever shows up, because that's the way success works for me, is that I remain open, I put myself out there, and I see what comes back at me. Okay? So today, once again, the topic is how my mind plays the game, how my mind keeps these limitations and prevents me, because I'm attached to those limitations, prevents me from actually being successful. All right? Why is that? What is that? What do I mean by that? So first, let's just ask a simple question. What is it you believe? What do you believe about money? Do you believe that it's scarce? Do you believe it's not available to you? Do you believe that you have to work hard for it? And even if you work really, really hard, you may not have enough because somebody else can take it. Is your worth tied to money? Do you feel that if you lost your money, you would be empty or void? These are all limiting beliefs, steeped in scarcity, steeped in this deep, 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 deep unconscious feeling of not enough. You are not enough, therefore you cannot work hard enough. You are not smart enough, therefore there are others who are smarter who can get or have more. There isn't enough, i.e. abundance doesn't exist, and we're all clamoring and scraping for the same amount of abundance, and God forbid you have more, that means I have less. None of these things are true. We commonly call them limiting beliefs. The first and best way, and I'll tell you this, it's just the most commonly spoken about and most missed out on secret. Keep yourself grateful for anything and everything you have all the time. Remind yourself to say thanks and just appreciate anything from the weather to the birds to your health to the relationships, any growth that you've had in your life. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude keeps your mind in this direction of abundance, of growth, of this idea that there are just gazillions of things and energies available to you. That abundance is not just about your bank account. It's about your emotional state. It's about your spiritual capacity, okay? And these things also, one of the things that prevents me and other people I work with from getting to gratitude are these unconscious patterns of lack that just keep not only speaking within me, but then manifesting themselves in terms of chaos and challenges that prevent me from growing myself into a different realm of belief. Okay, so I believe things that are limiting, and scarce. And I have these unconscious patterns of beliefs and experience that have cemented these beliefs in my mind that are actually only overcome when I continue to seek gratitude and I continue to seek fulfillment and abundance by recognizing how good I have it right here and right now. How your beliefs play out in your life is the second thing I want to talk about. Why is it that you think you keep having the same experience, i.e. in relationships, i.e. in jobs, in terms of the type of boss you attract? And when others don't have that experience, what is the difference between you and somebody else? Is it how you were raised, how you were born, what you look like? Or is the truth the fact that some people just don't produce, manifest, or attract certain kinds of people? And is that spiritual? Is that pheromonal? I know for me, earlier in life, I attracted partners that were unavailable, and I attracted bosses that were hypercritical. I needed to seek paths to do the work to find out how I was unavailable and how I was hypercritical. And then I also needed to learn what that type of person looked like. And I can only learn what that type of person looked like by understanding what I'm like when I'm that way. And then in an interview, I could see a pattern and I can decide not to work for that person no matter how good the job looked. I can go out on a date and I could see something in the person across the table that would make me go, not good. And I'll give you a specific example. If I go out with a man or went out with a man who disliked his mother, I don't go out with him again. That means something big, which I'll get into at another time if you care to. But that's really key, is to understand what I keep attracting, what I keep experiencing, and then making the switch through my own self-examination and a change to my behavior to actually stop attracting that type of situation or behavior, right? Because if I don't want an experience, I need to learn how the experience appears. I need to learn what the experience looks like and how to change my patterns, my actions, my thoughts, and my reactions to attract something new and different. This is not easy work because it requires a lot of self-awareness. But it's been said, and I don't know who said this, but instead of people saying things like, well, I'll see it when I believe it, it's that you'll believe it when you see it, right? It's a different switch. Like, in other words, when you believe something, you will project that onto your experience, and that's what you will continue to see over and over and over again. And I have done this work around everything from my perceptions of other people, other genders, other races, certain kinds of situations. I've done this around money. I've changed my belief structure and pattern by examining it and then learning that I could manifest a different result. And this is all about reality. I know for some of you, this may sound a little bit like woo stuff that sounds ridiculous or not based in truth, but I'm going to challenge you to try it because I'm a hyper intellectual and I overly criticize these methods, this, spiritual stuff, and I've done it my whole life. And so when confronted with the idea that somebody like me is saying things to me that seem to make sense, but I doubt, I just try it. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm here to tell you that this stuff works because I have changed my thinking. I have changed my emotional responses and reactions. And my life has changed as a result. Different patterns of money, different relationships, different jobs. And I've excelled into a greater success pattern in intimate relationships, in family partnerships, and also in terms of digits in my bank account. So this shit really works. Okay? What you can do differently to start yourself on the path of a choice, of examining your own choices, examining your thoughts, looking at your limiting beliefs and doing something differently is, first of all, start some practice of meditation. And meditation is huge. The stillness is where change happens. When you're able to be still, and I'm not talking about stilling your thoughts, because if you've never meditated and you think that you're supposed to sit in a chair and clear your mind and be zen for 5-10 minutes and your mind's racing and you think you're doing it wrong, get rid of that idea. Just simply sit. Sit in a chair. Allow your mind to do what it does, which is to think. Allow your mind to go, to raise, to do, and just become aware of the pattern of action and reaction between your thoughts and what's going on in your body. Okay? Don't judge your thoughts. Don't try to fix your thoughts, Don't try to control your thoughts. Have them, watch them, allow them to guide you down into your body, into the growth of this superhighway of mind-body connection. Okay? So that's the first thing to do that you can start to do differently to change your limiting beliefs is meditation or sit in stillness. Second, non-reaction. As soon as you come into an interaction and you encounter someone who's emotionally charged and then you emotionally charge back at them, this is what you get. Boom, boom, boom. It's rare that actually progress will be made until one or the other of the conversation partners back off or back down. Because otherwise what happens is you're just yelling. And I don't know about you, when you come at me strongly and I'm thinking about how to react because I'm heightened emotionally, I'm not creative, I'm certainly not listening, and I'm not making conscious choices to engage in the conversation in a way that actually might be meaningful or productive. So I'm kind of in this insane energy spiral that's only going to get like heightened and worse emotionally or just drop me down and make me feel really depressed. So I try non-reaction. That's all. When somebody says something to me, I try to kind of, and I'm not saying like don't feel anger, don't feel things. Not, this is the big thing. Everybody wants their right to be angry lately. As if they've been quiet too long. And I understand a lot of that, believe me, I do, within myself and other people. Like putting up with shit that you're just like, why have I been putting up with this shit for years? It's just like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. But the thing is that there's a better way to deal with it where you can actually participate and deal with it and create change in your conversations rather than like, I've had enough and I'm going to start fighting back. And now you're just dealing with fighting with people. And it's almost as bad, if not worse, than being quiet and taking it up the rear end. So non-reaction is key. The last thing is any what I call repetitive channel clearing expressions, mantras, prayers, repetitive vocal things, listening to the same guided meditation every day. Something that you can actually listen to in the car, on a bike ride, in your living room or whatever, on TV, on video, but a message that you listen to repeatedly. And two that I have is a simple law of attraction message. And I also listen to my own vision. So I recorded myself speaking to my vision, and I listen to that every day. And the last thing you can do differently is just have more love and compassion. And you can't practice it towards someone else if you don't have it towards yourself. Literally. I mean, you must understand love comes from within. And you can't transmit what you don't have. You can't give to people what is not there. And if you try, you're just going to keep emptying a well. And if you don't refill it with more love and compassion, receiving help, connecting with others, doing purposeful work, you're just taking care of people in a way that will ultimately lead you behind the eight ball and suffering. And nobody wants that. That's not where we're going here. If you're headed on the superhighway of success, you don't want suffering and depression. You want to feel your feelings. You want to know that they make you alive. You want to be happier and feel more successful as a result of doing this self-examination, which can be difficult, but it's definitely, definitely rewarding. So, day 3, how your mind plays the game. This is about becoming aware of your mind, how it thinks and how it causes reactions in your body, and the patterns of your intellect that are actually creating negative effects in your life. Once again, we'll be on Zoom, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on Friday, and 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern also on Friday for a Q&A about the Superhighway of Success. I'm really happy that you were able to join me and watch today, and